Colby Smith with the New York Times. Chair Powell, how should we interpret the removal of the line from the statement that inflation has made progress towards the 2% goal? Is that no longer the case?
No. So let me look. If you just look at the first paragraph, we did a little bit of language cleanup there. We took out a reference to since earlier in the year as it related to the labor market. And we just chose to shorten that sentence. Again, I mean, if you look at the sort of intermeeting data, it was good, and there was another inflation reading, I guess, just before the December meeting. So we've got two good readings in a row that are consistent with 2% inflation. Again, we're not going to overinterpret two good or two bad readings, but this was not meant to send a signal. Other than this, you can take away from all of this that we remain committed to achieving our 2% inflation goal sustainably.
Follow up. We've seen inflation expectations across a number of measures rise sharply, which has in part been linked to tariff concerns. But there's also been this encouraging data that you mentioned in terms of CPI and rent indices. So how would you characterize concerns about upside risks to inflation across the committee, especially those tied to policies related to the Trump administration?
Well, I'd say you see expectations moving up a little bit at the short end, but not at the longer end, where it really matters. And those could be related to what you mentioned, some of the new policies. I think where the committee is very much in the mode of waiting to see what policies are enacted. We don't know what will happen with tariffs, with immigration, with fiscal policy, and with regulatory policy. We're only just beginning to see, actually are not really beginning to see much. And I think we need to let those policies be articulated before we can even begin to make a plausible assessment of what their implications for the economy will be. So we're going to be watching carefully, and as we always do. This is no different than any other set of policy changes at the beginning of an administration. We'll patiently watch and understand, and kind of not be in a hurry to get to a place of understanding what our policy response should be until we see how it plays out.